this is preparing to make that commitment. This is what I see in life and how we study and how we are committed to. We are preparing, we're studying, we're planning, we're getting ready, all of this. That's kind of the direction I see it now.
Yeah.
That's probably just one of many viewpoints.
Yeah. And I'm thinking about commitment to this book and to our God. I mean, commit your way to the Lord, right? It's not a one-time thing. It's not a singular event, or it's preparing for a journey. And if you're committed to it, stick with it, right? I'm trying to give just some thoughts off the top of my head.
I think it might help to actually look at where we use the other word committed, though. I would say the things that you're committed to are the things that you don't really feel you have a choice, but you have to do. I am committed to work because I feel, now, could I not go to work? Of course.
Sure.
But there's the difference than being in prison, but being committed, I have to go to work. So I make plans, I get up in time to whatever, and I don't be late so that I don't get fired. I mean, that shows a commitment, even though, yeah, we know I could not go to work. I mean, there's plenty of people who don't go to work, But so in that same sense, commitment to that word is when you really don't have a choice. Because when you start making choices, that's when you can make excuses. Well, you have other choices. They were committed. There's no question they were committed. When that door went down, they were committed. Go or die. There's or both. Yeah, well, yeah. But I think it's important to understand it's that serious. Commitment is that serious. The idea that you're committed to an institution, you don't have a choice, but we don't call that being in prison.
Right.
You didn't commit a crime, per se. I mean, there's an element of this is for your own good, or the good of the whole. You've been committed to an institution for your own well-being. Well, you don't have a choice, but it is something you have to do. And so in that same sense, I think he is looking for a commitment. Something that we, in a sense, don't have a choice on. We have to do it. I think there's a qualitative difference there than a choice.
Commitment is, in my mind, the way I'm thinking, is a step above, or a lot of steps above.
Choice. Or
a choice. Or
options.
Because like DJ said, if you commit to go to a wedding and you don't go, what was your words?
I remember.
They probably won't notice.
Short-term memory.
They probably won't notice.
Right.
Well, I'm going to go to my fourth cousin's third removed grandchild's play at school. Well, if you don't go, they may not know.
It depends on
And a
how
lot of
many
people
go.
think that way. Like, well, I said I was going to go, but I'm not going to go. Perfect.
I think I've heard Alan make an analogy several times, and it's the analogy that if your goal is big enough, the circumstances don't matter. That's commitment.
That's commitment.
Well,
So
that's
it's
why
all about what our objective is, and if the objective is worthy enough, then there will be a commitment.
Yeah, we don't agree to be married.
Yes, ma'am.
To me, it's relationship. To me, my commitment to Yahweh is my relationship. And if he's my priority, then I will always make sure he's always going to be first, regardless of all the other commitments I have.
Exactly.
And I think these people probably did not have that relationship because they were afraid and unsure of that trust towards him. So it all goes to relationship and what you choose for that relationship to be.
Yeah. And they had entered into a relationship at Mount Sinai, but in words. Everything you say we'll do. They laid everything out, okay, we'll do it. But it wasn't.
Circumcised of the heart.
Yeah, it wasn't circumcised in the heart. It goes a lot deeper than a word.
Right.
Or even an action.
One of the things that started coming about from the conversation is a real commitment, something that you cannot turn back from. Now, you have to know everything in advance that you're ready for it, you do it. So once you turn loose, you have committed, and
Yeah.
that's a part that, kind of, another phase of that.
Yeah.
So in that sense, that commitment becomes a decision, there's a decision involved with which there's no longer choices. I
No
mean,
turning
it's-
back. You've given up all your choices.
You have to trust.
yeah, that's what gets involved.
That's what it comes down to. You have to trust. If you don't trust, then we become like the children of Israel. They did not trust God.
I want to
Yeah, that's right.
play a video. It's about commitment, but it's a little different take on commitment. It's not something that has to be done. This is something that many of you have probably seen the video many times. It's a very good Father's Day video. We're going to talk about that, but just something to show what commitment can look like.
That's a pretty good
So many of you have probably seen this before.
It's muted down at the bottom.
How about sound?
It's muted down at the bottom right on your
Working on it,
computer.
Shirley.
When I walk by your side, I can only imagine what my eyes will see when your face is before me. I can only imagine. Yeah. Surrounded by your glory, what will my heart feel? Will I dance for you, Jesus? Or in awe of you be still? Will I stand in your presence? Or to my knees will I fall? Will I sing hallelujah? Will I be able to speak at all? I can only imagine. I can only imagine. I can only imagine when that day comes and I find myself standing in the sun. I can only imagine when all I would do is forever worship you. I can only imagine, yeah. I can only imagine. Surrounded by your glory, what will my heart feel? Will I dance for you, Jesus? Or in awe of you be still? Will I stand in your presence? Or to my knees will I fall? Will I sing hallelujah? Will I be able to speak at all? I can only imagine. Yeah, I can only imagine. Surrounded by your glory, what will my heart feel? Will I dance for you, Jesus? Or in awe of you be still? Will I stand in your presence? Or to my knees will I fall? Will I sing can only imagine when all I do is forever, forever worship you. I can only imagine.
Don't share that to make anybody boo-hoo, but it gets me every time. When I started thinking about commitment this week, that video was what I thought about. How many of you here have never seen that before? Anybody? A lot of people have not seen that. A little bit of explanation. Dick Hoyt is the father, Rick Hoyt, the son. The son had cerebral palsy due to lack of oxygen at birth. Doctors said, put him away. He's going to be a vegetable. Can't do anything with him. And his parents said, no, we're not going to do that. We are going to raise him as normal as we can. They got a computer so he could talk. That's what he was doing with his head. That's how he writes. He's writing books, papers, and things. This kid. Not a kid anymore. Born in '62.
So he's 55.
Something like that, yeah. One day in the early '80s, Rick, the son, asked the dad, could we run in a 5K race together? Dick wasn't a runner, but he said, you know what? Yes. And he trained, and they did it. Pushed him in his wheelchair, like 1984 or 5, somewhere in there maybe. This year, well, some of those pictures were the Ironman triathlon. If anyone knows anything about the Ironman triathlon, when Rick was in the boat and Dick swimming, 3 miles, 2.5 miles swimming, 112-mile bike ride, and a full marathon with his son beside him, in front of him. They've done, I don't know how many Ironmans, probably 15 years worth. They've done over 1,000 races together. They did the Boston Marathon this year, when the bombing happened. Dick is 72. He said it was going to be his last one. But he said, no, it's not. That is commitment. That is how I see our Father committed to us. He'll pick us up and take us. All we have to do